Hey y'all, I'm Jen and this is Sassy Southern Insta Girl. I'm going to share with you guys, so I have tried to destash this big box of paper and nobody seems to want it. So I took a piece of it out and I'm going to share with you guys two ways to use paper that maybe you wouldn't necessarily use. So if I can't sell it, I guess I'll just use it. So I have this Dr. Seuss paper from forever ago, and like the copyright on this is 2012. I don't even know how long I've had this or what I even bought it for. But I'm gonna make some rosettes out of it and some rolled flowers. The rolled flowers, you're not even going to be able to tell what the paper is, which is the great thing about using paper that maybe you think it's ugly, or you don't necessarily like the color, or whatnot. The rosettes, I still think it's going to be okay. And I'm going to show you how to do the rosettes without a rosette die. I am going to use dies for the rolled flowers, just because I want to try these dies. All right, so it's easiest to make rosettes with a 12 by 12 piece of paper because you want the length of your rosette to be 12 inches. You could do a 6 by 6. You would just probably have to glue the two pieces together. So if you want to make teeny tiny rosettes, like I do for my baby rosettes, I do half an inch. It's very hard to cut on my paper cutter, so I will use a piece of washi to kind of hold the paper in place, and then cut it that way. So I usually like to do half an inch, an inch, and 1.5 inch. But for the sake of time, I'm just gonna do 1 inch and half an inch. So we're just gonna put a little piece of washi here so that the paper don't move. And we're gonna just cut that little half inch. Honestly, the hardest part of doing this is making the little score marks. Okay, so there's one piece, the half inch, and then now we're gonna do the 1 inch piece. And hopefully this turns out. And then while I'm at it, I am going to go ahead and choose one of these. I'm only going to do one. Let's see. I got this set on Temu. It did come with all of these. And it came with the paper quilling tool that I use. I kind of want to do this one, but I kind of want to do this one. Like, what in the world is this one? I'm just going to do it and see. For the score marks, I use a scoreboard. You don't have to, and I know some people's paper cutters have a scoring tool thing on the paper cutter, but I don't think I have that. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this. This is kind of crazy. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to go ahead and cut a piece off of here with my scissors. And use it for this one and the other one. So that, and then this one. I want to try this one too. So I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I was gonna try to do some cleaning in the craft room, but that didn't really happen. Let me see. Yeah, this isn't gonna be, I'm gonna have to get my big one. So before we use the scoreboard, we're gonna do this, because I'm very curious what this rolled flower thing is, and it's been so long since I bought this and I haven't used it that I have no idea. Let me move these out of the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and, I could have done this ahead of time, I guess, but then you wouldn't see what I'm doing. And you can be surprised along with me. Let me see what this is going to look like. Daggone it, I knew that was going to happen. I got to find something else to do with this. But the last time I found a different place to put that wax cording, I lost it. I did find it later. However, I don't want to lose it again. So, okay. So, let's see. I don't really know what that's gonna do. I might have to Google this one. I might have to Google that one. Or not Google. I might have to look that one up. I'm not sure what that one's supposed to do. But anyway, I'm trying to get as much of the picture as possible so you guys can see how you can't even tell what was on the paper. Because it's going to be rolled up so tight that you're not even going to know. Okay, and I'm going to roll this back up. Alright. So, you can see it there, but you can't, and it kind of wasted the paper, but it's okay. So, I like to use this little tool because it rolls it much tighter than if you were using your hands, okay? Because all you do is this. Let's see how easy that is. I love this thing. And you could totally glue it while you're rolling, but I'm just going to wait till the end because I might want to adjust a little bit. But see, you're not even going to really see. And I might should have done it the other way so that but even if, yeah, I should have done it the other way so the color showed, but you get the drift. So And I didn't even glue that yet, and it stayed pretty tight. I'm gonna have to, I don't really know. I'm just gonna, I don't really know what this was, but I have a feeling. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up, y'all. I don't know. If y'all know, tell me in the comments. But we're gonna move on because I'm wasting time. Okay, so to score these, you're gonna score it across like this at every interval. And this is gonna take forever, but it is worth it, I promise. Well, it's tedious. If you don't have patience, then this is not the craft for you. Because it is tedious, especially if you're making a bunch. Which is why I like to do cupcake liners. Because they're already scored. But they don't look as pretty and clean. And I might be overkilling this, but for the small one, especially on patterned paper, I need it to be very detailed because sometimes I mess up when I'm folding. When it's solid, it's easier, but when it's patterned, sometimes it's hard to see the score lines. Yup. Why is it curling up like this? It's much easier the bigger the rosette you do, but honestly, I don't really like the look of the big rosettes unless you're making like a wand or, you know, like a, I don't know, like a 3D project or something. Why is this doing this, y'all? Okay, I'm going to fast forward through the rest of the scoring, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to fold. Okay, y'all. I just realized that the camera was like a funky angle, so hopefully it doesn't look crazy. So, okay, once you score everything, then you're just gonna accordion style fold it to get it in your rosette shape. You actually, I think I might have done this too little. Let's see. No, I did it right. You could do it a little bit wider if you didn't want the ruffles to be so close, because you know, it can be further apart. And it looks like I messed up a little bit here anyway, somehow. I'm not sure. Oops. Let's just double fold it. The tinier the folds, the less you'll be able to see the picture. And I don't know how good this is going to look because I messed up, but that's okay. You're getting the gist of it anyway. That's the important part. Oh my gosh, y'all. I think my paper's crooked. Like, I think I didn't cut it straight. Because it should be much easier to work with than this. And I have arthritis, y'all, so this is like a very tedious thing for me to do. And I've showed y'all how to make these rosettes without a die before, and honestly I think it's way easier. I do have the one of the Tim Holtz rosette die cutter thingies, but honestly I think it's easier to do it this way because the score lines on those dies are honestly not very good. And maybe it's the paper I was using, or maybe I need to run it through more times, but I just prefer the way I do it. So I'm going to go back after I do this one and refold that other one, because I want y'all to see how it's kind of hard to see the picture, because obviously in the smaller one it's going to be like that because there's not as much width showing anyway. But there's more real estate on the wider one. Okay. So that one's good. I gotta let my glue gun heat up. And now let me go back and do this one. That's better. I love that little fish. Okay. You could even take your bone folder and kind of like crease it along the way to kind of help it along if you have trouble holding it. I can't do a whole lot of these at one time because it does hurt my hands, but I take breaks. Like, my hands are probably going to hurt tomorrow, but it's okay. It's okay. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you have your little circles punched out and stuff ahead of time for the top and the bottom and all that good stuff. And then you can embellish them, and I'm not going to do all that tonight. I will cut out little circles for them, but other than that. Okay. And then, yeah, this paper is off a little bit. As you can see, it's like crooked. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna glue them and see. Glue this to this. Okay, and then y'all, for those of y'all that don't know how rosettes work, once you glue the end together, you flip it down like that. And then you glue your circle on the top and circle on the bottom. So you can see, you can still kind of tell the design, but really you can't. And once you know, do your embellishments or whatever, you're not even really going to be able to tell, and you probably wouldn't even care. Let me see. I got this little circle punch that I used for the baby one. And I gotta find my bigger circle punch because I'm not exactly sure where it's at. Do 2 little baby ones, and of course, if you want these to be like pretty or whatever, then you can use colored paper and whatnot. Okay. So, oops. So what? Oh my goodness. Holy moly. All right. So we're gonna, oh my land. Doesn't want to stay. All right, so I do mine like this because I've tried to do it with where you put the the circle down with the glue on it, and it's always like not in the center. So I do mine like this. I put the glue on top of the rosette and hold it, and then I flip it and do the other side, because like I said, when I do it where I try to put the circle down on the table and then put the glue on it, it's never in the middle. And the bottom doesn't really matter what color you use. I just use scraps for the bottom. But if you want the top to be pretty, like if you're not going to embellish it, then of course you could use colored paper or but you see, the tighter the closer together the scores are, is the less of the design you're going to be able to see, which is why I say that you probably want to not do the doubles, because then you are going to have more of the design showing. But you know, it is what it is. It just depends. Oh my goodness. So you can see the image, but like I said, you know, if you put a word across there or like another rosette on top of it, you're really not going to be able to tell. And then you know, any other embellishments, flowers and whatnot, you put on top. I think I did this. I might have to cut this. I think I messed it up. I think when I cut off that piece, we'll see. Maybe it'll still be okay. That's the other thing about the rosettes. They're very springy. Yeah, see this one, the smaller they are, the better when you're doing designs that you don't like, because the smaller they are, obviously the less you're going to be able to see of the design. Especially like the little circle is going to take up. See, you can barely even tell what the design is. You can just see little pops of color. So definitely with the smaller ones, it's going to be better. And somehow I messed it up, but that's okay, because this is just for okay. So there you go. That's how you can use some of your ugly paper, or it's not even ugly paper, I just wouldn't use it for most things. But see, with this, you can't even tell. You can't even tell. And then if I had done this like 3/4 out, it would cover more of that. And you even could do 3 rosettes if you're stacking them or whatever. But yeah, so rolled flowers is probably going to be your best bet over the rosettes. But depending on what the design is or what the colors are, you totally could go with the rosettes as well. All right, guys, let me know what you think. And I will see you all in the next one. And remember, do something every day that will inch you closer to a better tomorrow. And keep it sassy, y'all. Bye.